Welcome, everybody. I have 5 o'clock. I will call the Community and Council's Community Investment Committee meeting to order. Councilmember White. Councilmember Gooden Rogers.
Present.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson. Let's see, we'll let everybody know when she comes in. Citizen Member Upton.
Present.
And Citizen Member Gripe. Let's see, Citizen Member Gripe. Do we have him online? Anybody? No. Okay, so we have a quorum. We'll go forward. First bill is bill number 2611, the designating resolution for real property tax abatement for Wharf Partners LLC. Every tax abatement requires the consideration and passage of 2 bills. Tonight is the first part of that. It's a designating, or also called the declaratory resolution. And then at a separate meeting, a second bill must be passed, the confirming resolution confirming the tax abatement. So our presenters and petitioners will be back again at the next meeting, and we'll see this bill again, the confirming resolution in the next meeting. With that, I will turn it over to Mr. Glavish. Good afternoon, Mr. Glavish. Welcome.
Thank you, Councilmember Warner. Thank you, members of the committee. As Councilmember Warner had mentioned, we're doing a tax abatement for a group called Wharf Partners LLC. What this actually is a tax abatement for the next phase of the Cascade project. I think we're all very familiar with the Cascade, a transformational building on the East Bank, has a wonderful restaurant. I'd like to first walk through I am muted, so it's not me. It was very sensitive. You heard me set my papers down earlier.
Yeah. Heard the papers ruffle from you even. Don't touch anything.
I will not. Since the Cascade is a multi-phase project, I'd first like to walk you through just as an overview of what Cascade Phase 1 was, discuss a little bit about Cascade Phase 2, and then get into the tax abatement and the tax abatement estimates that we ran for this new project. Before I continue, I'd like to just make note that this is not an old tax abatement. Members of the council that were here in 2018 when Cascade Phase 1 was completed might recall that council had approved a tax abatement for that phase of the project at that time. This is not a continuation of that tax abatement. I just want to make clear that this would be a brand new tax abatement impacting this new phase of the project. So Cascade Phase 1, as I commented, you guys are all very familiar with the project, really a crown jewel on the East Bank. At the time, in 2018, the Common Council approved a 6-year tax abatement for this project. The commitments on behalf of the developer, which were Wharf Partners at the time, was constructing a 7-story building. The private investment commitment was over $19 million. And they committed to creating 20 new jobs. As you can see on the screen, the developer at that time met all of their commitments ahead of schedule. And, it's a project that, we can honestly say has done really great for the community. It's something that I think council can be proud that they supported. And we think that Phase 2 is going to be just as important, which is why we're presenting this tax abatement to you for your consideration. So just a quick review, the developer spent more than $5 million than he had committed. And what we see when we support projects through tax abatements is we see increases in assessed value that really drive up the revenues that we can receive through property taxes. So before the project, phase one project began, we say this every time we present a tax abatement, we're only bringing in $3,000 a year in property taxes. And this year, 2026, when you look at the 19 unique parcels associated with the phase one project, they'll be bringing in more than $250,000 in paid taxes this year. So definitely a good return on our investment. I will also note that, the Cascade Phase 1, 12 of the 18 units are primary residences. They're capped at the 1% tax rate. Why that's important is these aren't people who are buying these and spending, 6 weekends here and that's it. These are people who are living on the East Bank. They're spending money in the East Bank. They want to be in downtown South Bend. So that was a monumental project for the East Bank, but they also had to deal with a lot of other changes that were going on the East Bank, including the Sites Park project and the hydroelectric project that was going on. Phase 2 has always been something that the developer had been contemplating, but they were not able to, they couldn't just immediately start after phase 1. There were commitments that were made that the Sites Park project and the hydroelectric project both impacted when the developer could begin work on phase 2. Basically, we're looking at a multi-year delay due to the Sites Park project. At that time, the developer committed to provide space for city contractors to be able to have staging, a laydown area for parking. They were more than accommodating to the city as we worked through this project and really did extend their timelines in terms of when they could begin phase 2 of this project. Also, the developer had donated land for the Riverwalk. Shows on the next screen. So, a large strip of the land along the river was donated to the city by the developer for the Riverwalk project. The upper left is kind of where the Colfax intersection, was before the city's project, and then the result is on the bottom right. So, the city is grateful for the support of the developer through these projects. These projects won't be successful without support in our community, and Wharf Partners was a good partner throughout that project. Now shifting to the bill that you're considering, which is a declaratory resolution for a new tax abatement for the new phase of the project. So you can see the parcels highlighted in red that this tax abatement would impact. Currently, here's what it looks like. We all know there's the existing building with a surface parking lot in front of it. Really, this project looks at transforming the riverfront, making the riverfront both, attractive in terms of the urban building that would be constructed, but also improving the walkability of that area. Here's a rendering from kind of an aerial view of what the new building would look like. It's a modern building, 8 stories tall. 22 to 32 units would be constructed in this new build. Several different renderings that have been provided by the developer to give you an idea in terms of what aesthetically the building would look like. So Wharf Partners, as you know, is a locally owned developer, invested in the community, really wants to see South Bend do well, and they live here. They enjoy South Bend. They really want to make it a place that people will want to come to, they'll want to live, and they'll want to participate in activities in and around downtown. The building itself, as I mentioned, would be 22 to 32 residential units. Out of the 112,000 square feet that the building is, roughly 30,000 square feet would be dedicated to commercial space. Total cost for this project is about $50 million. This is for just this phase of the project. This does not include the phase 1 costs that the developer had incurred. This is just phase 2 building. And as you know, it would complement the existing building very well. Employment wise, we're looking at beginning estimate about 15 new jobs, depending on the commercial space and how it's used. The first tax abatement for phase one was an estimate of about 20. Well, Cascade Restaurant, blows past that estimate by double. You're looking at new jobs, you're looking at new tax revenues, you're looking at new build on the East Bank. So it's a win-win really for us. Just kind of want to go through a little bit because I know the developers here to give you an idea in terms of what the floor plans would look like. This is kind of the commercial space. So you'd see two larger commercial buildings. I kind of just click through a little bit slowly just so you can see the different floor plans. Here would be like a 2-bedroom unit. They have 3-bedroom units and 4-bedroom units, 4-bedroom, 4-bath units. So with 2 daughters, I think that'd be really important sell for people. There's 4 bathrooms. So now shifting to what the tax abatement actually would be a 6-year tax abatement that mirrors the abatement that council had approved in 2018. The commercial spaces would receive the benefit of the tax abatement for the full 6 years. The interesting part of this tax abatement, which makes it a little bit different from others that we've presented, is that the residential units would receive a tax abatement only when they would be owned by the developer. The developer is not pre-selling some of these units. So as they're being built, the Wharf Partners is retaining ownership and paying taxes on those properties. This abatement would apply to those residential units, but once those units were sold to a third party, that residential unit would no longer receive a tax abatement. So that tax abatement would not transfer to new owner. It's only as a way to kind of lower some of the cost burden for the developer as they try to sell these units. So we had to break up as we looked at tax estimates for this abatement. We first had to look at the commercial spaces and then figure out how to come up with a good abatement for good abatement estimate for the residential units. The commercial spaces were pretty straightforward. Typical the way that we do them, we get an estimated assessed value for what we think the property will be worth after the project is completed, and then we run it through our tax models. In this case, if you look at the 2 parcels that this project would sit on, they're only bringing in about $4,500 right now in taxes a year. They're just surface parking lots. There's no buildings or anything on them. We estimate that after this project is completed, only the commercial spaces would be bringing in excess of $300,000 a year in property taxes. We worked with the developer on getting a good estimate for what we think the assessed value would be after the completion of this project. And we applied that assessed value estimate in our models. So you'd be looking through after 6 years, about $1.8 million in total tax liability. Of that, 1.78 roughly would be abated. That seems like a really hefty number, but this is a transformative project, and the city supports this project and wants to see it move forward. And without this tax abatement, there would be no project. You'd only be bringing in $4,500 each year. So as we always like to do, we like to show what would happen. We take out our crystal ball and see what are the estimates looking like in the future. Even with this tax abatement, we're bringing in a significant more amount of money, not over the 10 and 20 years, but also even in the 6 years that the abatement. And the reason for that is because when you put something on that property, the land values are going to go up, and the abatement does not impact the land. So that's why you see after 6 years, they're still paying $97,000 in taxes. As I mentioned, the residential estimates were a little bit more difficult for us to figure out, simply because we had to come up with an idea in terms of what is an estimate that we could use, knowing that the abatements are going to end on residential units once they're sold. If they're sold before the building is completed, those residential units will have no abatements at all. These are only residential units that Wharf Partners will own when the project is completed. So in working again with the developer, we came up with an estimate that each unit, so out of the 22 to 32 units, each unit will have these assessed values that we are assuming. So the land would be, for each unit would be $35,000, and the improvements, or, the actual, building itself would be about $1.455 million. So that's for each unit. That allows us then to figure out what are the taxes going to be for that unit. So at a 2% tax cap, we're looking at about $33,500 per unit in taxes. If we were to apply now the tax abatement to that number, you're looking at over that year for one unit, $31,735 would be abated. So that's only for one unit, and that's only for 1 year. Now, we don't know when the units are going to get sold. So we have to have an assumption. So we're going to assume that the developer is going to hold 10 units for an average of 3 years during this period. The reason we came up with this assumption is, we want to be able to figure out kind of in a ballpark what council's going to be, voting on. And if you say 10 units over 3 years, and you apply those abatement numbers on that previous slide, you're looking at about $1 million in taxes over 3 years for 10 units. Of that $1 million, about $950,000 would be abated. But as a reminder, if all the units get sold, there's no abatement. If none of the units get sold, the abatement would apply to all of them. So these are just estimates. We're not saying that these are the numbers, how they're going to actually play out, but we want to present to you kind of our best guess in terms of what the scope of the abatement is going to be. So now to put those two pieces together and give you kind of a full scope of what we think the abatement's going to look like, through 6 years, we estimate that the taxes abated would be about $2.7 million total. When we look at how much tax revenue this is bringing in, we look at the term of the abatement in terms of the 6 years, and then we look ahead to 10 years and 20 years. This is a project that after 20 years, we can anticipate $13.8 million in tax revenue coming in. This includes the full project, the commercial spaces, all the residential spaces. This is not, $13 million that the developer themselves will be paying, but this is for the entire project. So, that's my presentation. The abatement, is truly an incentive in this case. Like, we honestly believe that this project, to move forward needs support of the council, and I will pause there. Mr. Panzica from Wharf Partners is here to answer questions.
Thank you. Mr. Panzica, anything you would like to add, sir, about your project?
Yes.
Mr. Glavish was very, very detailed. Come on, we're going to have you come up to the mic. Might have some folks online or at home that don't touch the mic, but that's probably a good distance.
I won't go near it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Warner and members of the committee. So my name is Thomas Panzica. I'm a member of Wharf Partners. I reside at 320 East Colfax Avenue. So 5 years ago, after 30 years of living in Granger and working in South Bend, I made the move to live downtown, and don't regret it, love it. The challenge we have, and there's nothing I could really add to the very fine presentation, other than the fact that one thing that was omitted is we had agreed early on when Notre Dame was building their hydro plant and 28 cars were being displaced for Stevenson Mills. We agreed to let them park on our property for a period of 18 months, which became more than 3 years. And once again, we received no compensation for that. We've tried to be good partners with the city, and we very much appreciate everything the city is doing and has done to help make this project happen. Our challenge is we have condominium units. The benefit of that is that those are people that are coming to South Bend and investing. They're not renters who can come and go. They're people who are stakeholders in the community. They contribute to the downtown. We think that adds to the diversity of housing we now have downtown at all different levels that have been activated in recent years. So it's an essential part of the downtown living environment. The challenge is the rate of absorption in a community our size is low. So in order to do that, we need the assistance to during the holding period of the units to reduce some of that overhead cost, which keeps the price point affordable. And the other point is that some of the floors, two of the floors may have even commercial office tenants in them, which is bringing a new diversity to the office product in downtown. So all of this is essential to making it happen. Through the years of pandemic and construction around us and all that's gone on, our construction costs, as everyone feels the pain, have escalated very quickly. And today with tariffs and fuel and all that, every bit of assistance is needed to get this product online. But when it does come online, and it will transform the riverfront of downtown South Bend and complete the vision we brought to you in 2018. So I thank you again for the consideration. We appreciate the help, and I hope for your positive vote.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Glavis, I think this was kind of stated in your presentation, but not directly. So phase one, there was no breaches, no unmet commitments. We were actually above all of the thresholds and required commitments and earlier on time, correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, thank you. Council members, any questions from or committee members or council members? Councilmember Gooden Rogers.
Yes, I would like to know what kind of benefits do the employees have and what's the rate of pay? What's the smallest to the largest of pay for the employees?
Thank you for the question. The primary employer in the building right now is Navarre Hospitality. So I'm not privy to what their employment package is, but from my understanding, they offer various benefits of healthcare and possibly a pension plan. I'm really not privy to that. That's a question for the tenant. Again, in phase two, there may be restaurant tenants, there may be other types of tenants. So all of these people, especially in the restaurant field, it's a very competitive market. There are more jobs going than there are people available. So in order for these jobs to be filled, these employers will have to provide benefits and pay that are commensurate, if not better, than what's available elsewhere in the community. That's really all I can say about that. I don't directly employ anyone.
Well, I was kind of wondering if as long as they are like above a living wage or something so that, I mean, we want the people to have decent wages on the jobs too. I mean, that's just
You're
my
talking about
opinion.
during the construction of the project?
No, after.
After the,
Mhm,
okay.
yes,
Again, that's not
yeah.
mine. I do believe that as a part of the tax abatement, we will be providing yearly information.
Yeah,
about
so
that.
when we work through, we provide assistance as we go through the abatement petitions. So in this case, in working with Wharf Partners representatives, with the unknown of what would be in those commercial spaces, they thought that 15 employees was a good number to start with. And if you look at that, it works out to be about $50,000 a year for that estimate in terms of what businesses could we get in, or could they get in there, and then what rates would they be paid in terms of wages. So 15 employees and about $50,000 per year is what the commitment is through this petition and the other forms that they had to submit.
Okay, well, we have time because you'll be back.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Councilmember White.
Any other?
Thank you, Chair. In terms of phase two, do you have a time frame when you will begin and end that phase? Because I'm going to ask another question. Are you foreseeing a phase three?
Okay, first
Mhm.
question. So phase two, we'd hope to start before now. Some additional engineering investigation was requested by the structural engineers because these tall buildings on the riverbank have to sit on pilings that go 85 feet in the ground, and they requested additional soil borings this spring, which slowed us down. I understand we cannot pull a building permit until we've had the second reading of the abatement. So, but right now we're targeting for June. We've been issuing subcontracts and we are trying to line everybody up. And we're also involved in very close coordination with both the city and the county with the Colfax streetscape improvements and the new bridge improvements. It's what the contractors like to call the dance of the bears. There will be a lot of bears dancing along Colfax Avenue for a while. But we are anticipating hopefully June construction start. Is there a phase 3? No. At one time, a phase 3 was contemplated, but with the success of the restaurant on the site, we realized that we cannot give up the surface parking for any sort of additional housing. And at one time, a structured parking garage was actually considered on the site. But after a close evaluation, that was just deemed not economically feasible. So we're retaining the surface lot in front of the building.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thomas Morgan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have two questions. One is just to get a sense of the residential abatement units in comparison. In Cascade Phase 1, it was mentioned that 12 of the 18 units are being utilized as primary. Are the remaining units occupied?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we've had a mix. Our goal was, we set out, we don't want this to be a dark building, like perhaps some of the Campus Edge product where it's absentee ownership. Most of our residents, it is their primary residence, although some of these folks have a summer place they go to for a few months or a winter place they go to for a few months. We do have several residents now that are affiliated with the university and may live outside the community. So this is a second or third home for them. But by and large, we are local residents and it's a primary residence for them.
Thank you. So that does bode success. I mean, all the units are occupied, so just a really positive projection for the Phase 2 and its occupancy rate. I guess that's how I'm seeing it. My second question is in terms of the larger commercial space, 30,000. Just want to know, are there currently conversations with commercial partners?
There are.
Okay.
And some of those will be on the first floor. Some might be on the second or third floor. It remains to be seen. Right now, we're contemplating that the first floor might have some sort of a breakfast, lunch kind of cafe or bistro concept that's complementary to the Cascade, which is an evening dining so that the parking doesn't overlap. And there's also been some interest in the community, I think, for some sort of a spa or a nice place where people can go and enjoy the view of the river. But we've not had any serious interest. People want to see us start construction, then they'll get serious.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Lee.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Perry, for being here today, and thank you for what you're doing over there. I'm sorry, that is Mr. Perry, right?
Panzika.
Panzika, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
P.
Bill.
Bill. All right,
We'll get you.
all right. Will any of the units be leased? I know that we're saying that as
Yeah.
long as when they're sold, they will not receive a tax abatement, but if they're leased,
Correct. Yeah, they're not sold for lease. I think the residents have the right to enter into minimum 6-month lease. So I'll give you a scenario. We have several residents in the building who are professors at Notre Dame.
Mm.
And oftentimes professors might leave for a sabbatical, be gone for a year. So they would want that opportunity to maybe make some revenue to offset their costs of owning that property. But it's not really being marketed or intended as a rental property. We don't want that. It's not structured that way. But yes, people do have the right to enter into a lease if they were to have to leave for a period of time.
thank you.
Okay. This time we'll go to the public hearing. Are there any members of the public, either online or in person, who would like to speak regarding bill number 2611? Anyone like to speak either in favor or against, in the room or online?
At this time, I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak.
Thank you. Bring it back to committee members. Any other questions, comments? We'll thank you, Mr. Panzika, and your partnership for your investment and partnership with the city and your patience during Sites Park. I know there'll be some folks that are critical of, kind of this high-end units. But the philosophy of the city that we've been kind of operating has been all of the above. We've got approximately 2,000 units in planning and construction or in development in the city, and these are just 36 of those 2,000. I think we saw at RDC a couple weeks ago, the KGC project where we've got significant city and state incentives, and you're looking at rents for folks that get down to the $300 range. So we're trying to do the whole span of the market here for housing. But any other committee members, council members, comments, questions?
Make a motion to send Bill 2611 to the to the committee.
Committee of the whole.
Is it going to committee of the
This will
whole?
be a resolution, so this will go to the full council.
To the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second,
I have a motion for favorable and a second. Clerk Toronto, can you please do a roll call vote for us?
Committee Member Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Citizen Member Kevin Upton,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White,
aye.
Committee Chair Warner,
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. The bill will go to full council with a favorable recommendation, and with that, we will adjourn. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Chairperson Oliver Davis, and I call the zoning and annexation scheduled to start at 5:15. We're going to start now at 5:32. And would like for our clerk to please read our roll. Our citizens members are coming to the podium. So give them a second. I'd like to welcome them. Thank y'all for being here.
Committee Member White,
Present,
Committee Member Warner,
Present.
Citizen Member Danny Coons, Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Present.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Present.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
I'm present.
All members are present.
Okay. Just for the note, we need to Bill 1726. If we can, they said that bill needs to be tabled until May 11th council meeting because the petition was tabled in BZA until May 4th meeting. So can we just take care of that now?
So moved.
second,
All in favor? That's Bill 1726 there, the special section at Oak Street. That's gonna be moved until the meeting on May 11th. So we have first and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so that leaves us now with 4 bills, and we have 1, 2, 3, and 5. So we will now begin with bill number 4626, special exception at 915 Harrison Avenue. And if we can go ahead and have our presentation.
Good evening, committee members. Tim Stout with offices on the 5th floor. Tonight, I bring before you, Bill 14-26. As soon as it loads. Here we go. A petition for a special exception by the owners of 915 Harrison Avenue to allow a 2-unit dwelling on this property. The applicant intends to build a side-by-side duplex on a currently vacant lot in the near northwest neighborhood. Previously, this lot did have a dwelling unit on it. This is from the Sanborn map from 1960. So the applicant intends to build a side-by-side duplex. To provide some additional context, here are some existing 2 and 3 unit dwellings in purple within the neighborhood. Here are some elevations and the site plans and the side-by-side intent. The applicant intends to utilize an alley access for the rear parking. The use of 2 unit dwelling is consistent with objective H1.1 from the city's comprehensive plan, which is to encourage residential developments with a mix of housing types, densities, and price ranges. Additionally, this is also consistent with the Near Northwest Strategic Plan, calling for this area to have more missing middle housing types like duplexes to be blended into the neighborhood. So based on the information provided to the public hearing, the Board of Zoning Appeal has sent this with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Question, when was the other property torn down? Do you know?
I could look that up for you if you want. But it was sometime between 1960 and present day. It may have been a part of the
1,000 Homes, 1,000 Days?
yes,
I was thinking that myself. You just confirm that for me.
certainly.
I appreciate it. Questions right now from any of our, I hear Ms. White.
Yes, I just have a question. During the hearing, did anyone speak in opposition to this bill at all? For any citizens that they raised any concerns?
No concerns were raised.
Good, okay, thank you.
Any others? At this time, is our presenter here? Oh, hi. Hi. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Kathy Schuth. I'm Executive Director of Near Northwest Neighborhood at 1007 Portage Avenue. This is actually a repeat of a project we built kind of like on the backside of the same property at 914 Sherman Avenue. So if you wanted to ever see what it's going to look like when it's built, we've already built a few of these in the neighborhood. They've gone really well. I'm pleased to see. We ended up having to advertise this one twice just to some mixed up timing on the Board of Zoning Appeals, and we received no actually positive or negative comments, no comments whatsoever. A few questions from adjacent neighbors who came into our offices and asked about them and said, is this you? Is this similar to the other duplex? And then they're very pleased to do it. We will self-manage this property, so this will become part of kind of the NNN's portfolio of affordable housing rentals.
What led your other property to do well?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What do you think has led your other property to do so well?
I think I think we build high quality housing and we manage it well, and it's a type of product that, I mean, what we have a lot of lower quality rental opportunities in the neighborhood through existing single family homes. And I think kind of offering a very high quality rental experience to, like, this is targeting about 60% area median income applicants. And they're really popular, to be honest. We've built about 15 units in the neighborhood in the last 5 years. And we have a wait list right now of about 12 who are seeking open units.
Thank you. I saw a hand over here. Go ahead.
What's the rental price each month?
These will rent for $1,050 a month, including utilities.
A 2-bedroom?
Yes, 2-bedroom.
Okay. President Lee, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not on the committee, but I just wanted to say that the NNN has been doing an outstanding job of bringing quality housing to the first district and to that area. And when people hear that the NNN is building something, it is exciting because they know it's going to be quality and they know that it's going to be something that people want to live in. And I'm really appreciative of the work that they're doing for those homes that have been demolished, replacing them and putting duplexes on it. It's been a very positive move in our first district. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other comments down the way? I can't see that. Okay. then you may take your seat and we appreciate it, and we'll move on to our public hearing. Those who'd like to speak in favor, please come forth or share your thoughts, or also share your thoughts on via online.
Dr. Davis, I believe one of our citizen members had a question.
I'm so sorry. I'm close. Let's get out the public hearing and let's go back. I didn't mean to look over that. Go ahead.
Does that include utilities or no?
Yes, the rental price that we anticipate includes all of utilities.
Okay.
And I should say that this project is being partially funded through federal funds, the Community Development Block Grants. This was a vacant lot that had been acquired by the city of South Bend, and the city of South Bend transferred it to us at zero cost as part of the CDBG application.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Let me look to my left and to my right, to my front, and even to my back. All right, we're cool. All righty. Now let's thank you for that question, and now let's go back to our public hearing. Those who like to speak in favor, whether you're present or online, please proceed.
I do not see any members of the public in person on or online wishing to speak in favor.
Okay, those who like to speak in opposition, please do likewise.
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
Okay, so we will now close the public hearing on Bill 1426. And what is the pleasure of this committee?
I'd like to move that we send 14-26 to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. Clerk Corrado, could you please take the roll?
Committee Member White,
aye.
Committee Member Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Danny Coons,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye,
All ayes.
thank you. Appreciate that. That will go tonight with a favorable recommendation. See you tonight at 7. Bill number 5626, a special exception at 1245 East Madison Street. Could you please give us our presentation?
Certainly. Good evening, Tim Stowe, zoning specialist for the city of South Bend with offices on the 5th floor. Before you is 1526 for a special exception by the owner of 1245 Madison Street to allow a 2-unit dwelling on their property. The applicant intends to build a side-by-side duplex after demolishing the current residential structure on the property. Here is a picture of the lot as it currently stands. And here is a site plan and rendering of the proposed home. The site plan of what the petitioner actually intends to build. The rendering is basically to provide a reference point of what the structure is supposed to look like. There are several things that we've expressed to the petitioner that need to be worked with zoning to bring the structure or the design into zoning compliance, but the special exception is only for the use. So there are no variances associated with this application. The use of 2-unit dwelling is consistent with objective 1.1 of the city's comprehensive plan, which encourages residential development that contains a mix of housing types, densities, price ranges, and amenities. It is also consistent with the 2022 Northeast Neighborhood Plan, which suggests lower density residential uses in this section of the neighborhood where the property is located. Such lower density uses includes duplexes. The Board of Zoning Appeals sends this to you with a favorable recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Questions for our presentation? All righty, seeing none, thank you. And we'd like to hear from our presenter. Please come forth and state your name and address and share us your vision, your thoughts regarding your project.
I am Nathan Sprunger. I touched the microphone.
I hear you. We forgive you
gosh.
this time.
Sorry.
Maybe not at 7, but right now we will. Continue.
I live at 1511 East Jefferson.
Okay.
I do own this property on Madison. My vision for this project was to create a 2-unit dwelling that resembled a single-family residence to try and keep with the current look of the neighborhood. I know a lot of duplexes they look like duplexes. My goal was to make it look less like a duplex and more like a single family home while still hitting that missing middle that we're looking for in the neighborhood plan. As Tim indicated, there are some design things that I'm going to need to change, which I was hoping to wait until after I got an exception to spend the additional funds to make those design changes. Otherwise, do you guys have any questions about?
Where would the driveways be on this one?
The driveways would be coming in from the side.
Right where the fireplaces are, on that left?
It would be, so on the right-hand side of that drawing are the two garages there, and
Okay.
you would come in off the alleyway.
There's an alley on that.
It's like a
side.
secondary street. Yeah.
Cool. Questions, comments? Yes, Ms.
Is there an alley in the back too? And so the other garage will have access off the alley in the back?
Well, that's a work in progress
see.
because as of right now, I have 4 garages, which I was hoping to do for a 2-unit. Because I think that'd be desirable, but it looks like we're gonna have to change that because we're only allowed 2.
Okay,
So like, more than likely, it'll be off the secondary street on the, on the right-hand side of that drawing.
okay.
And we'll just work with, planning and zoning and work with the building department to make sure we're in compliance.
Great. Thank you.
Questions? Thank you. Other questions? Yes.
I applaud you for the time and putting that together to make it look like part of the neighborhood. And looks, it fits well, and that, I like it. It's a good job.
Hopefully it doesn't bankrupt me, but yeah.
I
Be good.
hear
Thank
you.
you for saying that.
I like the brick. It's really nice. It makes it nice. Any other questions, comments?
Yes, nice.
All right, if you see none, you can have a seat and we will go to our public hearing. Those who'd like to speak in favor, if you are here presently or online, please share your thoughts.
I do not have any members of the public wishing to speak in favor.
Okay, those who would like to speak in opposition, whether you're here publicly or you're online, please come up and share your thoughts.
I do not have any members of the public wishing to speak in opposition.
All right, we will now close the public hearing. And I see you'd like to share something else. Go ahead.
Yes, the residents of 1240 Madison Street, I did not happen to catch their names, did call in and are asking about this project. They were concerned with parking. We did inform them that this development would be parked with either rear facing garages or rear alley access, and their biggest concern was a they needed a handicap space was the bigger concern, and we directed them to Public Works to get them that space.
The residents need a handicap space or?
Yes. So the resident was afraid that the duplex would create parking issues where she wouldn't be able to access her.
Okay.
Wouldn't be able to park her car in front of her.
Okay,
house.
right there on the street
Yeah,
kind of thing.
so, but we directed them to Public Works to hopefully set up a handicap space for
Okay.
the residents, so.
Has she called back since that time? Everything's been pretty much solved, do you think, right now?
I would hope it's been solved. I left it in Public Works' hands too, but I can follow up with them to see.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, what is the pleasure of our committee?
I would like to make a motion to send this forward with a favorable recommendation. Before I do that, I thank you for your investment. I do think that we're seeing a lot of investment in that neighborhood, and I think your investment will retain its value long-term there. And we thank you for investing in our neighborhoods. Thank you. And so I'll send it forward with a favorable recommendation.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and second. Clerk Serrato.
Committee Member Warner,
Aye.
Committee Member White,
Aye.
Citizen Member Danny Coots,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye,
All ayes.
thank you. Appreciate that work. We'll see you tonight at 7:00. All righty, we have now bill number 1626. And you can proceed with the special exception at the presentation of special 1010, and that's for Brancher Street.
Gotta bring her.
Okay.
So yeah, this is, good evening, committee members.
We got you.
Tim Staub, zoning specialist for the city of South Bend with offices on the 5th floor. I bring before you Bill 16-26, for a special exception by the owners of 1010 Fjordbringer Street to allow a 2-unit dwelling on the property. The applicant intends to build a pre-approved stacked flats duplex on this vacant parcel in the Lincoln Park neighborhood. So here is our stacked flats. In 1960, there was a building standing, and we did look it up. Sometime in the past 40, or at least 40 years ago, the building that was here was torn down. So the use of the 2-unit dwelling is consistent with objective H1.1 of the city's comprehensive plan, which encourages the residential developments that contains a mix of housing types, densities, price ranges, and amenities. It also is activating a parcel that once had housing and has been vacant for, as mentioned before, basically over 40 years. It is consistent with the neighborhood's low density. As you can tell, there are a few 2- and 3-unit buildings within a few blocks of this parcel. And the Board of Zoning Appeals sends this to you with a favorable recommendation.
All righty. Great. Any questions? And do we have regarding this bill? Okay, not we will hear our presenter. Welcome to you. Please state your name and address and please proceed with your vision of this project.
Yeah, hello, committee members. My name is Jose Guevara. I live in 418 Rosewood Drive in Mishawaka right now. I am the owner of the lot for the last 5 years. I'm owning a couple more in the area. And I remember when I was looking in the area just to finding vacant lots, just thinking in projects just to build new houses, tiny houses and affordable houses for the community. I was surprised when we get the pre-approved plan from the city of South Bend. We was blessed with that because there's an opportunity to build new houses for the community that fit with the city of South Bend requirements. You don't have to be spending money in architects just to try to do something that fit in the area.
The whole idea.
Yeah, but running the numbers, building just 1 unit in the vacant lot, thinking over the time, probably is a lot of money spending just in 1 vacant lot. And looking around what is happening right now in the city of South Bend, because I'm part of the Town Maker group, probably you hear about the Town Makers group with Mike. When we found the duplex, well, we decided that it could be a great opportunity just to bring more affordable rental for the community. It is the reason because we are thinking just to build that one and a couple more in 3 more slots. So we are owning in the area.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everything that you shared and for your investment and for taking the time to see all of this. At this time, we will hear comments, thoughts regarding this bill. Anyone have any questions right now?
No questions. I thank you for your investment. It's always good when we hear somebody from Mr. Keene's group, the Town Maker group, and I know the city's, tried to provide tools and that those tools are, now bringing projects to fruition and those efforts of Mr. Keene are spreading it beyond his neighborhood up there on Portage Avenue and to other parts of the city. So that's great.
Great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. Go ahead, Pastor.
Just want to say thank you
President.
for your investment and thank you for looking for a way to bring affordable housing to this district. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You may have a seat and we're going to open up the public hearing. Those who'd like to speak in favor, please come forth and share your name and thoughts.
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor.
Anybody would like to speak in opposition who is in person or online? Please come forth.
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
Well, then, we will close the public hearing, and then we'll bring it back to the committee for a recommendation.
I'd like to move that we send Bill 16-26 to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Okay. We'd like for our clerk to please go ahead and take a roll.
Committee Member White,
I'm sorry, aye.
Committee Member Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Danny Coons,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye.
All ayes.
All right. Cool. We will now move forward with our next one. Go ahead and we skip one and move on to the next one. Go ahead.
So good evening, committee members. Tim Staub, zoning specialist for the city of South Bend with offices on the 5th floor. Before you is Bill 18-26 for a special exception by the owners of 1249 Corby Boulevard to allow a 2-unit dwelling on the property. The applicant intends to build a side-by-side duplex on a vacant residential lot. Here is the lot currently. Other duplexes have been approved along Corby, including the dwelling that is pictured to the right. Before you is now the elevations and the site plan showing the proposed duplex design. This is a side-by-side duplex with alley access for parking. The petitioner, who has developed several of the side-by-side duplexes on Corby, has also added a bit of variation to their frontages to basically allow the duplexes to look a little different as you go down Corby. So there's the varied in design. So the use of a 2-unit dwelling is consistent with Objective 1.1 from the city's comprehensive plan, which encourages residential developments that contain a mix of housing types, densities, price ranges, and amenities. It is also consistent with the 2022 Northeast Neighborhood Plan, which identifies this area of Corby Boulevard as a low-density residential area, which encourages single or detached homes and duplexes. And the Board of Zoning Appeals sends this to you with a favorable recommendation.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
Were there at the BZA meeting, were there any neighbors that commented positively or negatively at all?
There was no public comment at the
Okay.
BZA for this project.
No communication? Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, we now then, yes.
How soon are they looking to get started on building this?
I'll let the petitioner answer that. I haven't done that, so.
Okay. We're now here from the presenter. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening. I'm Alyssa Genzorek, 7821 Morse Road, Columbus, Ohio. And yeah, I'm here to represent this project. As far as the timeline, I actually, while I was sitting here, got the building plans from the architect. So we're ready to submit within the next week or so. They'll be tweaked a little bit, but we'll be ready to submit for a building permit within the next week to 2 weeks. And then as far as, I know Tim had mentioned, the varying, frontscapes of all the houses. So I know there was some concern about them possibly looking similar. We assured, everybody that we would, take care to use different materials, different colors, different window placement. So they do look different, in fact. And I don't really have anything else to add. Happy to answer any other questions.
Okay. Any questions for, yes?
So this will be an absentee landlord?
This will be a duplex that we will be then listing for sale.
Oh, then you're gonna sell it?
Yes, correct,
So you're just building it?
correct,
Okay.
yes.
Sorry.
Concerns, any?
I'm
Right.
fine.
You fine? Okay, questions this way? That way, anyone? Ms. White? Ms. White, you have one?
Is that a comment
Okay,
afterwards?
Miss Stacy. Oldham?
What do you think the potential sale price would be?
Probably in the 700s per side.
Okay.
Okay. Any others? All right,
Comment.
go ahead.
Okay. I know you came before us. You've got a couple,
Yes.
I think, two
Yeah,
or three.
yeah, I was here in February, I
Yeah,
think.
you've been before us a couple times, and there's two. I just live about 3/4 of a mile west
Okay.
down Howard there. Actually drove by these just yesterday.
Okay, yeah,
They look great.
Thank you.
The units do, and
Thank you.
kind of along with the housing, the larger units, the development going on to the north there.
yes,
And I know a lot of these lots have been vacant. I told Dr. Davis before, these are lots that have been vacant for 30 or 40 years. We're ecstatic that somebody is coming and investing in our community and building on these vacant lots. And
thank you.
I want to thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
All righty. Thank you, thank you. You may have a seat, and
Thank
we'll
you.
now go to public hearing. Those who would like to speak in favor, come forth or talk online.
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor.
Okay, those who would like to speak in opposition, also feel free to come forth in public or to share your thoughts online.
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
So we will now close the public hearing and come back to our committee for their thoughts on bill number 1826. Anyone?
Oh, I just had a question. In regards, I noticed that we have a lot of special exceptions and all of them pertains to duplexes. And I know we're in the process reviewing all of our zoning and the issue of duplexes will be addressed in the update. Is that correct?
Not this update. Staff wants to, we're currently working with legal regarding
Okay.
short-term rentals, and we'd want to, if anything, bring something, if we're
Okay.
going to change the duplex thing, we'd like to
Mhm.
also address short-term
Okay.
rentals as well.
Do you foresee, you may not can ask us questions, just looking at the number of special exceptions that we have,
Mhm.
and they're looking at duplexes. I think that may be something that could render some level of discussion as well.
Yep. But
Okay.
yeah, and we have 4 more duplexes on that for next month's BZA, so.
Can't hear you, I'm sorry.
We have 4 more duplexes on the agenda for next month's BZA as well, so.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Concerns or recommendations?
I make a motion to send 1826 forward with a favorable recommendation.
Okay. Second, Ms. Torado, our clerk, would you please take the roll?
Committee Member White,
Aye.
Committee Member Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Danny Coon,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye.
All ayes.
Okay, thank you so kindly, and we'll see all of you all tonight at 7:00 PM. Thanks for coming. And at this time, we will adjourn our meeting.
All right, we've got our informal invocation is Chuck Zook from Summit Church. We'll have our normal routine pledge, roll call, reports from the subcommittee on minutes for March 23rd. There's no special business. Report from city offices, public works update. And then we'll go into our committee of the whole, bills on third reading. And then our resolution, then bills on first reading. Unfinished business, new business, privilege of the floor, and adjournment. We'll see everybody at 7:00. Thank you.